So today's video is jam-packed with a lot of exciting things, including our final harvest from the garden, Dan doing construction, demolition work, renovation work, and Dan and I actually got to do our very first getaway since having Logan, and we ate so much good food. I have so much food to share, and I brought you along for our trip because it was so beautiful. We went to a bed and breakfast and honestly had an incredible time. Also, we did a couple of fun family things. We were able to take some fall family photos, and if you saw on Instagram, then you already know Dan and I also got to take some romantic photos of just the two of us, and we made our way up to an apple farm and pumpkin picking with the fam. Also, before we hop right in, I wanted to give a shout out to my patrons. It's been really great getting to share different kinds of things over on Patreon. I've really appreciated the kindness and the community that we've been building over there. So I will see you guys in the comments over on Patreon. And with all of that being said, let's hop right in. All right, so we're starting in the kitchen of our new house because I wanted you guys to get an update. Now, this part of the process has taken Dan quite a little bit of time. You guys saw that in the last video. This flooring has been so hard to get completely peeled up, but he has been working diligently, as he always does, to move us forward to our new home. Now we're hopping right into day one of our staycation, and we actually made our way over to a local Mexican food restaurant and ate tons of food before we headed to the hotel. So we took our staycation at a local historical bed and breakfast called the Roosevelt Inn. Now this place actually used to be an old schoolhouse that was built in like the early 1900s. So as you can see, the architecture and just the grounds surrounding the building are so beautiful, and it's walking distance to the lake. The trees are just lovely, and when we walked in, I was just immediately so excited to be there. I mean, just being able to like hang out with Dan alone. No offense, Logie, love you so much, but being able to like have conversation was so nice. But walking into such a beautiful building made me really excited for our stay. So when we first got there, we signed up for our breakfast slot, and then we made our way around the first floor of the bed and breakfast just to kind of explore and see, you know, where we'd be eating breakfast the next morning and just kind of check everything out. Now, we actually had leftover food when we were getting to the hotel, so they have a guest fridge that we stuck our food in, and then we made our way up to our room, which, holy moly, how beautiful is our view. We stayed in a room called the Bell Tower because it actually used to be the Bell Tower. So it was a 2-story room, which was really cool. And I will be showing you more of the room in a little bit, like later in the video. But yeah, I don't actually know if Dan and I have ever stayed at a bed and breakfast, and it's a totally different vibe than a hotel. The owners actually live on the top floor, so their dogs run around the property as well. And that was really fun. So we came out and we decided to start playing a game of cornhole. And the dog has officially taken one of the, this is like the dog at the inn, the family dog. He's taken the bag and we can't get it back. So every night at 5 o'clock, the inn serves complimentary wine. So Dan and I had our wine and just had a ton of fun playing cornhole. The weather was so beautiful. You can kind of tell in this video, like very fall. And we just had a really great time hanging out, like I said, sans baby, and getting a little toasty with our wine and just laughing and having fun. It was so beautiful. Oh, and they had a giant ice machine. So, you know, I was really hyped on that because I would brew some herbal tea in their kitchen and then pour it over ice in a cup that I had brought. And it was just lovely. To me, that makes for like a bougie hotel stay, fresh iced tea. So at night we hung out in our room and we brought our iPad and rented a really great movie called Dream Horse. Now, granted, we actually haven't finished it yet. We're like 20 minutes away from finishing it, but I can say that it was really good. And we brought a ton of snacks with us to make our own little like charcuterie situation, which was also really delicious. That's pears, raw yogurt, and raw honey, by the way. Currently, that is like my favorite snack. I'm not even kidding. And then you could see that the plate had eggs, nuts, raspberries, salami, and raw cheddar cheese. I also brought some tortilla chips, some sourdough crackers, and some local salsa. Now, obviously, it's a bed and breakfast, so they served us breakfast each morning, and it was delicious. The pumpkin spice pancakes, the croissant sandwich, everything was so good. And then that afternoon, we went out for lunch at a place called Tito's. Dan got this pasta with clams in it, and I got this barbecue chicken pizza that was so delicious. And it was actually a specialty item on their menu that day that the chef had just like whipped together. And I was very glad that I picked it because yummy. Bye, Dan. Dan's getting a head start. He's taking the bags to the car. And I actually meant to film a room tour while we were here, but we were too busy having fun. So I'm doing it right before we leave. Same thing, I guess you wouldn't know the difference. Well, you can see that the bed's not like really made, but I did a little bit for you guys. So we stayed in a room called the Bell Tower. You walk in, this is the main area. You've got these windows that look over to the courtyard, and over there is where we were playing cornhole and hanging out last night by the waterfall. This is my favorite part, I have to say. I don't know, this room is really cool. So getting to have this beautiful fireplace in here, and it's been pretty cold here the last couple of nights, was really nice. And just hanging out by the fire, as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see the lake right there. And what's cool is you can get an even higher view when you head up the stairs to the Bell Tower. This is so cool. And then you really can see straight through to the lake over there. And then obviously you have a bathroom over here. With a shower that gets super hot, super fast. I mean, you don't really see the shower, but there you go. And yeah. No, I can still show my eyes, because one day when I'm 80, I'll look back, I'll want to know what young Nikki looked like after staying at the historic Roosevelt.
Where do you go?
Gondor.
Gondor.
Oh, Gondor.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes way more sense. Okay, well.
You thought it was Gondor?
Yeah, that's why I
Gondor.
kept repeating it, because I thought that was that's a way funnier name.
Come here. Oh,
No.
we got a pine cone.
Pine cone?
Oh.
He's all bye. Wait, this was really beautiful and really fun. And when old us look back on this one day, we'll remember these 2 beautiful days that we got to just hang out, eat, drink, be merry, play. This was such a lovely time. Our first post-baby moon, 18 months later. I love you, young Dan. Oh, you're supposed to say you love me too.
Oh, I love you, young Nikki.
No. Now, before we left, I had to show you guys their beautiful water fountain and just like the backyard premises. My mom actually really wants to build a water fountain like this in her backyard. Dan says it's a crazy task, like a huge ordeal. But yeah, so this footage was partially for her upcoming design work, and partially for me just because it was so beautiful, so relaxing. And yeah, shout out to you, Dan. I love you, and I had such a great time at the inn. Now, so many of you guys know we've been waiting for our tomatoes to ripen, and on this day we knew it was going to frost the next day. Now, actually, we think it kind of frosted the night before, but the tomatoes were still fine and we wanted to save them. So Dan and I made our way to the back and we harvested all of our green tomatoes to ripen inside the house. These tomatoes are not like the most beautiful tomatoes on the planet, but also they're really beautiful. You know what I mean? Nature is incredible, and God's gift and creation of food growing from plants just like blows my mind. Now, these are some cucumbers that we missed when they were growing. I don't even think they're edible anymore, honestly, but they were massive and beautiful, so I thought I'd show them to you. I think I might have already failed on this project, guys, but I did harvest some red raspberry leaves. And to my knowledge, the way this is supposed to go is you harvest them from new growth before they've flowered. So there was a bunch of new growth that's never going to flower because it's getting cold out now. So I harvested a bunch of those leaves, the vibrant green new leaves, to bring inside to dry, to hopefully make a tea for when I, God willing, am pregnant. But I think I kind of failed at it. We'll see how it turns out. So I mentioned that we were doing family photos. So on this day, my friend Maria, who is an incredible photographer, came over to snap a couple quick photos of us as a family, but then really to go off and do some romantic photos, which, like I mentioned, if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen a couple of those. So yeah, but before we headed out, we wanted to, like I said, snap a couple family pics. This was not easy. I now really understand what moms are talking about when they say they make jokes about how difficult it is to capture pictures with all of their kids. I chuckled along and thought, yeah, that must be hard. But now that I have one and I see how difficult it was to keep him happy and entertained, I'm like, oh, so these families with 4 kids, they have it cut out for them, or more, or whatever, just more than one kid. So yeah. Maria, by the way, is also a wedding photographer, and she is so talented and has such an eye not only for beauty, but really at capturing intimate moments. We had so much fun shooting the photos of Dan and I. Yes, Dan and I have spent a lot of time on camera, but she specifically did a great job of making us feel comfortable, which is so important if you're going to be lovey-dovey on camera and really express your love for each other. So I just feel really grateful that Dan and I were able to really just express our love for each other, and that Maria was able to capture it in such a beautiful, intimate way. And having the landscape of gorgeous North Idaho behind us just added to the whole thing in such a unique and special way. So if you're looking for a wedding photographer or an anniversary photographer or whatever, check out my friend Maria, because I've raved this whole time, she is amazing. All right, so on this day, my whole family decided to make our way into Washington to a fall farm festival. So we are right on the border, because we're in northern Idaho, of Washington. So we've gone over a couple of times, and someone had told my parents that this fall festival was super fun. So that's what we made our way to do. And as you can see, it was beautiful. There was lots of tasty food, and the scenery and the weather was just perfect.
So I didn't film any of it because I was too busy diving in. I know the squashes here are so fun, but we had a really yummy hand-dipped corn dog and really good garlic fries that were marketed as the best garlic fries in the world. That was too bold of a statement, but they were good. And my mom had a caramel apple. I didn't get a single bite. And now we're just wandering, kind of just checking out the premises, looking at the squash. We looked at the little store, and I think they're going to pick a squash or a pumpkin or something. Oh, wow, he got very happy to take that. By the way, this is kind of the final hurrah for my dad's birthday weekend, his birthday celebration. Logan knows the happy birthday song really well, but he pretty much only knows happy birthday, dear Logan. No, he keeps singing it and he will only say Logan. He refuses to say grandpa. But he knows how to say grandpa, but he will not put grandpa's name in the song. Happy birthday, dear grandpa.
I know everybody says this, but it's true. I love getting to do things with my son because he's experiencing so much for the first time or close to the first time. And so seeing his excitement and his wonder and his desire to explore is just so fun to watch and experience. And I still can't believe I grew him. Like, I grew that person.
So apparently all apple picking is done.
Not the ones on the floor.
Not the ones on the floor. And there are quite a few hanging out on the floor. So I'm kind of bummed that our first autumn out here, we missed like proper apple picking, especially since we did so much berry picking, which was amazing. So at least we got to do that. But next year, I hope that we don't forget the timing and we can also do some apple picking. Logan is in fact going for apples that have already fallen. But yeah, there's no more on the trees. You looking, Logie? Yeah. You give him your serious face? You have a serious face? No serious face. Okay. All right. No serious.
What's that? What is this?
Apple.
By the way, I wasn't just dancing to nothing, although whatever, I can dance to nothing if I feel like it. There was a band playing, so we did a little dance.
I'm not embarrassed to be eating an apple off the ground.
No, nobody has to know.
Don't worry, Mom. It's fine. Dan was throwing Logie around, so I had to do like the obligatory slow motion shot because technology, that's so cool that we're even able to watch that slow motion. I love my boys. So guys, that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Shout out once again to all of my patrons. I appreciate you guys and your support and the community that we're building over there so very much. So I will hopefully see you over there and back here and all over the internet. All right, bye guys.